What's up, everyone? Yes, you're hearing Genus Unknown, but it's not Blitzkid. This is not your mom and dad's hard punk. It's some harder, faster, more thrashy. This is Pittsburgh, PA's very own Children of October, doing probably the most badass cover of Genus Unknown you're ever going to hear. It's the Rex coming back at you. We've been on hiatus for a while. It's time to get back at it. The world falling apart and all, and of course there's no shows going on, no bands are playing. I mean, everything's pretty much dead, but the music's still there, and there's so many bands, so much music that that we love, and we want to review them and share them with people that may not have heard these bands. So we'll talk about Pittsburgh, PA's Children of October, as again we're covering Genus Unknown, the song we're listening to. An interesting history about this song. Back in 2013, it actually says on their Bandcamp that they were approached in 2013. I guess they were going to do a Blitzkid tribute album. Other bands were going to contribute, do a cover of a Blitzkid song, and anyway, it never came about, but they recorded their version of Genus Unknown. And in my opinion, it's better than the original Blitzkid version. I mean, if you can hear this, I hope y'all can hear this. And to me, it always marks the greatness of a true, what a band can do. If they can take a song of a well-known established band, cover it, put their own special touch and ingredient to it, and make it their song. I mean, I don't want a band that just does an exact cover the way the original band does it, but take and do something of their own with it. That shows there's something special with that band. And Children of October have done quite a few covers, not only Genus Unknown, but they've done some hardcore covers of Minor Threat, Bad Brains, which we're going to cover. So when I wanted to cover Children of October, I didn't know which album, because there's so many damn great songs. So I just said, why don't we just go through and just cover a few of the songs on all their whole discography, on all their albums, because they've got like 3 full-length albums and a few EPs and singles. So, but anyway, I did an interview with Children of October last summer 2019. They played Morgantown, and I'll actually link that video, that interview that we did with them. We didn't get to get as much album as I hoped to, so I wanted to maybe redo that interview, because it kind of went chaotic. You just had to be there, but we still had a fucking awesome time with them. Let me pause this here just a second. So anyway, it was a good interview, and I've actually seen the band maybe about 5 times. A few times in Morgantown, I think a time or 2 in Pittsburgh, and of course in Norton, West Virginia at the Rim. It was actually like a day before my birthday. They played a show with the Jasons, Ghost Road, Zombie Mafia, I think it was there. And dude, it was just one of the best fucking shows I ever attended. But Children of October is probably one of my top 5 favorite local, I guess, or underground bands. I listen to them almost every day. But anyway, the history of Children of October, there's not a whole lot to know. From what I got out of the interview and what little I've studied, it all goes back to Rick Mortis. Of course, it's all linked to Blitzkid, because Rick Mortis, I think, played on the last album or the last tour Blitzkid did before they ended it there back in 2011 or 12. Rick Mortis was one of the many drummers that they had, and if you haven't seen Rick Mortis play, you're in for a treat. You need to fucking check him out. I mean, I call him the God of Thunder when it comes to drumming. I would put him up against the very best Lars Ulrich. I mean, he pales in comparison. He's a fucking joke compared to Rick Mortis. And I mean, Rick could be a star today with the right bands, and as could Children of October. I would put actually Children of October against the very best thrash bands out there. I mean, the very best you can think of. I actually prefer them when it comes to thrash music, because like I said, I don't know of anyone else that does thrash horror thrash. So maybe they're the pioneers, maybe they invented it, I don't know. But they're not your mom and dad's horror punk. They're not your typical kind you usually hear. But the Blitzkid connection was there, and he left the band, he left Blitzkid and decided to go off, and we don't know what reasons why he left, but he, of course, met up with Timmy Gibson, and according to Timmy, he originally approached Rick, and Rick didn't want to join Children of October. He was forming a band. Timmy Gibson was, he actually, I think there was a song called Children of October he had with a previous band, and so he was forming the band Children of October off a song from a previous band he was in, Timmy Gibson. And Timmy Gibson, of course, is the singer and guitar player. He plays the leads, the rhythms, and when you talk about Children of October, it's pretty much just a two-man band. You got the singer, guitar player, Timmy Gibson, and the drummer. The band, they are the core of what, and center of what that band is. They've had numerous bass players. I don't know the names of them all or who was all played, but every time I've ever seen them play live, George Durbin III has been the bass player. And, you know, of course, everybody knows George Durbin. They know his persona of a certain specific masked bass player. But personally, myself, I think in a lot of ways I prefer George Durbin III, Children of October bass player, more than I do his other persona, because you see him take on a whole new different style. And how do you say, he has a stage, he takes on a completely different stage presence. You really see him who he is as a musician and bass player without needing a mask or a character that he plays in this other specific band. And he motherfucker just kicks ass on the bass. He plays in a style you just don't see him playing in his other character. And so I actually prefer him with Children of October. And so, I mean, those three together definitely have a chemistry and an energy. And to be able to project that kind of energy and sound with just 2 or 3 members, the way Children of October do, not many can pull that off. So, but anyway, Timmy and Rick formed the band, and let's go to their first album. Their first album, I think, was done. I think the band's been together like 13 years, I think. Let's see if I can get, oh, here it is. Their first album, it was just self-titled Children of October. Let's see if we can listen to some samples off of that. Here we go. I like Timmy's voice. He's got a voice that really stands out. He's not like a growl. Like when you hear most metal vocalists, they get distorted. They try to do that kind of growl. He's not trying to do that. And I don't see like he's trying to copy any metal or thrash singer. He's definitely got that strong harmony and melodic type of voice to him, but yet a very powerful vocalist. So I really am a huge fan of Tim's vocals. And of course, you know, I can't say enough about Rick's drumming. He don't play the drums, he attacks them. I mean, he just seems like he's destroying the fucking drums. And he's a big guy, dude. I mean, he's got some guns on him, some good arms. And, let's see. Now, when you get into Children, they got thrash and hard songs, and you get into some slower, they got some melodic riffs. You get a little bit of everything, a little bit of all the taste when Children of October. And seeing them play live, these tracks, they never seem to slow their pace down. I mean, to be able to play at the pace they're going and to be able to hold the sound just seems to blow me away. I enjoy watching them play. I'm always up on the front row, right at the front when Children of October are taking the stage. Desecration of authority. Here's the next one. That's what happens when you get fucking old and blind. You don't see the little words as well as you can. And no one lays down a set of woes. I mean, I love Children of October when they deliver the woes. Powerful band. I mean, you see them play a lot of, they play mostly in Pittsburgh, but I was actually having a conversation about a couple of years ago with Rick Mortis, and he told, I actually was last year at the Rim, and he was telling me that really they're not they're not very popular in Pittsburgh. And, you know, people aren't really into them. They're into more of other certain style bands, and so they don't really. They're not as popular in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? You guys are like one of the best fucking bands ever out there. And so around in our area, Children of October are very popular. They draw them in, and actually they were supposed to play with Blitzkid this past summer. I think it was last month. Blitzkid, of course, had this big comeback tour coming, and they were supposed to play Morgantown 123 Club, and of course COVID happened, and then the big shutdowns, and everyone had to, you know, postpone their plans. But Blitzkid was going to play, and Children of October and Ghost Road were actually two of the bands that was supposed to open up for them, and so I was severely disappointed I'm not be able to go to that show, because I really wanted to see Children of October play that, especially see them sharing the stage with big hard punk legends, Blitzkid, of course Ghost Road being in that. That would have been a hell of a fucking card. So hopefully we'll see it. Maybe, highly unlikely we're going to see it. But maybe by Halloween. I think they rescheduled it in October, around just before Halloween. So, but the way things are going, I'll be really surprised if it actually goes down. So, these are just some of the songs off their first self-titled album. I just love the guitar work, you know, and you have to really just see it to appreciate. Again, I said it earlier, the sound these guys are able to capture. For such a small, only like 2 or 3 core members, the band's made up of that's it, just 3 people. And I think they may have even played some shows without a bass player, I think. So to be able to sound as good as they do, I really feel Children of October is probably one of the most underappreciated and underpromoted bands out there. They deserve so much more recognition than what they get. So let's check another one of their other albums. Let's go to, let's see. This is their second full-length album. If I can get it to come up, there we go. Die Baby Die. Now this is most of their albums are only available on digital. You can go to the Children of October's Bandcamp and you can purchase it, I think, all for like $20-some, all their whole entire discography. And I hope you do that. But I think there are a couple of them. There, Die Baby Die. That album just, I think, just been reprinted. I actually picked up a copy of it, so you can get physical copies of that. And of course, their latest album, which is actually, I think, about a few years old. I think it came out in 2015. The Risen Dead. Dude, this is their best album. The Risen Dead is probably one of the heaviest fucking records you're ever going to listen to. Again, this is hard punk, hard thrash at its best, and we'll actually listen to some of this. So let's listen to a little bit of Die Baby Die. Let's check it out of here. Evil Inside, first track. This is one of the tracks you see him play. I think I've seen him play this 2 or 3 times. Pretty much a regular track they play live. I mean, really, the band has a lot of songs for the time they've been together. I think they've been together about 13 years, and they actually have quite a few songs considering, what little they get to really get to play. And one thing about the lyric, it's hard punk, hard thrash. The lyrics are pretty fucking dark, which I like. Songs focus on murder, slashing, killing, zombies. Your typical hard punk content. But I think the way they deliver it, the way they do it, is not like anyone else. I mean, again, they're not Blitzkid. They're not the Misfits. Even that's another thing. They have done covers of Misfits songs, and I think on their very first album, the one we just listened to, their self-titled premiere album, they had a hidden track on there, a Misfits hidden track, and I don't think it was ever released. I mean, you can't get it on the digital download. I think it is on the physical CD, but they're so rare. And I think they even said, I think Timmy said or something, they don't even have copies of that CD, but there is a hidden Misfits cover track on there. And so I would like to hear that one day. Hopefully that will be re-released, that first album. I would like to see all of the whole entire discography re-released on physical copies. And eventually it'd be good to see it on vinyl. I would fucking sacrifice my firstborn at it to see Children of October release all their music on vinyl. So I'll be right back. Listen to the music, and we'll go get my glasses. Okay, got my old granny glasses here. While you die. Now it also says here they remastered Die Baby Die, this album, and they added added some more songs to it. Originally it was released in August 2010. Now let's listen to, this is one of their last releases. This is only like a 3-song EP they did. You mean it's not jazz? Yeah, I think it was back, because I remember I actually pre-ordered that, and I got it, I guess about 2 years ago. It's 3 songs, You Mean It's Not Jazz. So this one was called I Want to Rip Out Your Guts Through Your Mouth. This is actually one of their stronger, heavier tracks. At least lyrical-wise. To kill you, baby. Another great one, the last song on that EP, When We Want to Party. Probably my favorite track on this little EP. The track runs about 2 minutes and